Hello, all expats. I've been hearing that some of you are not getting your check here early 2025. I think I might know the reason and I might know the solution to that. It's called the "Are You Still Alive?" Proof of Life letter, and the U.S. Social Security sends that out every 2 years generally. And as I was doing this research, I found out that many other countries do the same thing. And they'll do it every year. I think, is it Australia? Some country does it every, if you're over 80, they do it every year for you. Virtually every country where you're drawing a retirement will send out, require some type of proof of life. And that's what the U.S. does. And if they don't receive it, I'll get into the details here. We'll go over to a U.S. Government site and get into the details here. But there is a solution, and you can solve it relatively quickly. I will have a copy of the form that you need to fill out. I'll go over the form, show you how easy it is to fill out, and get into more details here. So let's jump over to the government site. In this case, the consulate site here in Cebu City, Philippines. They've got a pretty good article about that. My understanding is they send that letter out to anybody who has a living overseas address, and you may or may not get that letter. If you don't get it and return it by a certain date, they cut off your funds until you contact them and verify that you are indeed alive. I keep a U.S. address for a number of reasons. Number one, nothing is permanent. Me and my girl, we may end up back in the U.S. at some point in time. So I don't want to give up that address. And every time you change address, affects your credit rating and a number of other things as well. It just confuses life. So yeah, I may end up back in the U.S. one day. Just never know. But if you have a foreign address, it's something you're going to have to take care of and be aware of. Jumping over to the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines site, and they've got some information about Travel Advisory Level 2, which happens to be in southwest Mindanao primarily. And many of you, if you've been watching the news over the last year, you know about that area, southwest Mindanao, the southernmost island, is pretty much a no-go for foreigners, especially for Westerners. Anyway, they've got quite a few information here. How do I apply for benefits? They've got links to retirement, to disability, and to Medicare only, those sites. They've got their online hours of operation here in the Philippines, Philippine time. If you're unable to apply for benefits online, contact us by email. They've got some information. I'm going to get down to the form that I'm talking about. That is the kind of a, I've done a lot of research, and I've read that it's sent out every other year, every 2 years, and for certain numbers, the last two numbers on your Social Security number, it goes out on even years, and the other group that goes out on odd years. But I've had some. I've seen a post on some forum group that said this guy got the letter every year. The problem is the problem is if you don't get that letter, that "Are You Alive?" letter, if you don't get that wherever you are in the world, and you're required to fill it out, they will stop your benefits. And according to the information I've read, they will send out a letter early in the year, the first few months of the year, and a reminder later in the year. And if you don't respond by the end of the year, your January, February, or March benefits will be cut off. Anyway, additional information, I'll just go what's here. Visit the Social Security page to get a number. How do I mail original documents to the federal benefits? Okay, information there. If you want to report a change of address, There's information on the form to do that there. How do I enroll in direct deposit or change my bank information? Tells you how to do that. If you want to have your funds sent to a Philippine bank, for instance, gives you information how to do that. And I will put a link to this page in the description of this video. You may be required to submit a direct deposit sign-up form if the banking information provided is incomplete. And this is the most important part I want to get to. How do I report non-receipt of payment? You haven't gotten paid, and very likely you did not return in a timely manner what is often called the proof of life form. And basically it's, I think 7161 is if you're reporting information about a child's a check that you expected the child to get, and I believe 7162 if it's a check coming to you, I believe. You must wait until the 25th of the month to report non-receipt of paper checks if you're getting paper checks. We cannot take action until this date. If you receive your payments via direct deposit, please contact your bank first, see if there's a holdup, and then contact us if your payment has not reached your bank account by the 10th of the month. If you did not receive a payment starting in the month of February of any year, your payment may have been suspended due to non-receipt of the report to the Social Security Administration. Each year, some beneficiaries are required to complete the annual report form, SSA 7161 or SSA 7162, and I will show you that form. We'll go over it. Depending upon the country where you reside, the form is sent every year or every other year. Now this can change. Everything is subject to change. The forms are initially mailed in June, and follow-up notices are sent in October. The purpose of the form is to ensure that Social Security Administration has your correct address, telephone number, and that circumstances affecting benefit payments have been reported. Each form is sent with a return envelope to a Social Security Administration facility in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. The completed form must be mailed in the following appropriate address. It gives the addresses down here. It's different for the 7161 than it is for 7162, and even shows up in their zip code here. And let me just finish going down here. How do I report a death of a beneficiary? How do I apply to become a representative payee for incapable beneficiaries? And I've got I haven't signed up to be his beneficiary, but his former girlfriend, his carer, who he's become incapacitated, she has signed up, I think, to become his beneficiary. How do I terminate or enroll in Medicare? And if you wish to cancel or terminate Medicare Part B, submit the completed and signed form here. And you need to do that in the first 2 to 3 months of every year, I think. There's just a relatively short period of time when you can do that. How to request a Social Security statement or other proof of past U.S. earnings, and gives you information here. The link that that page had, when I clicked that link, it gave me this form, but the form that it came up was dated 2021, and this is the newest. It says down here, discontinue prior editions, so they have not updated their form. Whether they would accept the previous form or not, I'm not sure. But that form had 2 pages. This form has 3 pages, the last page just being information about privacy. Form SSA, which is Social Security Administration 7162 OCR-SM, dated 7/2023. and it's called the Report to the United States Social Security Administration. Failure to complete and return this form within 60 days will result in suspension of benefits. Sign and return this form in the enclosed envelope. See instructions enclosed. Very easy thing to fill out, and I know a number of people don't get it. Even if you have an address overseas, because of the postal service, you may not get it, but you can print this out, fill it out, take it to the consulate. And what I've heard from a number of people, they have taken it to the consulate in Cebu City, which is at the Waterfront Hotel, lower level, at the present time, and has been there since I came in 2015. Or you can get it. I think you can, and I think they will mail it to Manila for you. And you should very quickly, is what I've heard and read on forums. Very quickly, you should get your benefits reinstated. The important thing is to send this in at least every other year, even if you don't get it, because you may not receive it because of the mail. Anyway, print your address here only if it is different from the one shown below. Well, if you didn't get it, then your name is not printed on here. So fill your name, telephone number at which you may be contacted during the day. If you answer yes to any of the questions below, please turn this form over and continue on the back. You must sign your name in item 7 on the back of this form. So only if you answer yes to any of these questions below will you fill out questions on the back of the form. So that's simple enough. Has there been a change in your citizenship or your country of residence that you have not yet reported to Social Security Administration? Yes or no? Have you married or had a divorce or annulment since you last reported your marital status to Social Security Administration? Yes or no? Did you work for someone else or were you employed? Did you own a business or farm since you last report of work to Social Security Administration? Answer 6, only if you are the parent of a child under age 16 or disabled and you receive Social Security benefits because you have this child in your care. So that doesn't apply to most of us. Very easy. It's basically 3 questions. And if you answer yes, if you answer no to any of those, if you answer yes to any of these questions, turn the form over and continue answering regarding these on the back side. Otherwise, all you do is sign it, and that is proof. This is page 2, just to give you an idea. If you signed yes to any of those, then you have to fill this out. Country of new citizenship, current country of residence, country of new citizenship, current country of residence, date and year that happened. If you answered yes to question 4, did you get married, divorced, or annulled, and the date. 5, if you answered yes, complete the information. Check 1, are you an employee or self-employed? Date you began work, if it ended, date it stopped. And then this has to do with some additional information. If your work was in the United States, did you pay United States Social Security taxes on your earnings? And then this has to do with the child. If you got a child on and off during the year. Your signature or mark of beneficiary, signature of a witness. And this is just, the 3rd page is just the Paperwork Reduction Act and privacy information. Very easy to fill out, so there's no reason why you shouldn't fill that out. I've decided to do this video because I've had a couple people in comments and emails ask me if I've heard about some people not getting their Social Security checks, and yes, I have, and I hear it every year. I hear it every year, so it's not something new. Um, you just need to take care of that, sending in that form to the U.S. And like I said, I did research, and I was really quite surprised. There's many countries that have similar type systems. You need to verify that you are alive on a yearly basis, or at least every other year. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.